Oh, guys, I had this god-awful dream that woke me up. There was this bachelorette party, and all these bachelorettes were having a good old time drinking, partying away. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes Darrow, wearing a Speedo, all oiled up. These women screamed in shock, tried to get out, but all the doors and windows were locked. All that jiggly flesh, more chins than Chinatown. It was awful. Darrow in a Speedo? Freaking scary. I'm slowly recovering. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's having a good new year thus far. Anybody who's ever been married, have you ever noticed? As guys, we're not the brightest bulbs in the package. We're never quite sure when our wives are mad at us. Except, my wife and I used to like to go to parties. I like to have fun. And somehow, never failed during the course of the night. And hold on, guys, let me face the light a little bit better. There. Somehow during the course of the night, I guess I would do something that would piss my wife off. The first thing that most women do, they will give you the silent treatment. So I'd be joking, laughing, going in, looking, and she'd just give me this cold stare. Now, women like you to ask why they're angry. So like any other red-blooded American guy, I'm like, what are you mad at? Usually this took place on the way home. What are you mad at? And we all get the same answer. Doesn't matter where you're from or who you are. Well, if you don't know why I'm mad, I'm certainly not going to tell you. I was fine with that. Okay. Women think they're punishing you by giving you the silent treatment. Little do they know that guys like the silence anyways. The silent treatment doesn't last long before you get an A to Z list of why they're angry. Some of the things are things that you pissed them off over at the last party. Being a JW, you realize that shunning, that silent treatment, could last indefinitely, in some cases forever. Although, I really believe, in all honesty, that in the very near future, although Watchtower will not change their stand too much on the shunning policy, I really believe that in the near future they're going to kind of lighten up on it and make it more of a conscious matter. And if you're wondering why, let's face it, there would be one time when you thought of Jehovah's Witnesses, you thought of these people carrying Bibles coming to your door. What do you think of today? You think of child molestation. You think of lawsuits. You think of human rights violations. And in view of all the lawsuits and the attention that their human rights violations are now getting, I mean, look what's happening in Russia, look what's happening all over Europe, look what's happening here in the United States. It's getting to be that the human rights violations are going to take center stage. So, to save face and to make it look like they're actually a holy organization, they may have to back off the shunning policy. We all remember what happened in Kiko Harbor this past year, and that's not an isolated incident. Watchtower may be forced not to overly change, but somehow lighten up slightly and make it a conscious matter. If you look back at the blood doctrine, there was a time when they stood firm on that. No blood. But I believe it was around 2006, 2007 that they kind of eased up on it and said they made it a conscious matter. If you have to take blood fractions, this was now okay, but to leave it on you, they made it a conscious matter. The real reason that Watchtower did this was not because of new light, because it was a conscious matter. Oh, no, 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 no. Had nothing to do with you, had nothing to do with them. They realized that every serum, every vaccine utilizes blood fractions. And I'm not even going to go into what they're doing with aborted fetuses right now. So Watchtower had no choice. It was either do away with the blood doctrine altogether, and they weren't going to do that, or leave it on you, make it a conscious matter, knowing full well that you're getting blood fractions no matter where you go. And I firmly believe that they are going to be doing the same thing with the shunning policy. Make it a conscious matter. Now, this could be a double-edged sword with Watchtower. Because in all honesty, I think we realize that many JWs would like to see the shunning policy done away with so they can speak to their families again. It also could come back and bite Watchtower in the ass, because I think most people are staying in now because of the shunning policy. If there was no threat of being shunned, many JWs probably would pack up and leave, realizing that the organization is a bunch of BS. But I would say within the next year or so, and this is something I've thought of for some time, and I know there's been a lot of talk about it, that they're going to have no choice but to ease up. I mean, right now, let's face it, Watchtower is attracting more heat than a heat-seeking missile. They got to do something about it. And let's face it, we're all being shunned. We all realize it, except for the trolls that hit our comment sections, and they're not supposed to be doing that as well. But little by little, Watchtower is trying to change its image. They're trying to seem a little bit lighter, a little bit more fun. They're desperate to hold on to the younger people. They're desperate to hold on to people. See, the Watchtower is not quite ready to get rid of the witnesses yet. See, they still need to pay off many lawsuits, so they still need you in. And they're realizing that more are going out than coming in. We all know the stats. So Watchtower is going to be forced to have to lighten up on many of its policies, and one of them being the shunning policy, which is not biblical to begin with. Personally, we all know that it's a control mechanism for the org. Anyways, guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this and what you think about it, so leave your comments below. I'd like to hear what you think. And again, I'd like to thank my subscribers for letting me in. And if you come across this video, hit that notification button. That'll let you know that I'm out here. You guys have a good day, and I'll be talking to you soon.